Yeah, I did it and it disappeared. Like, what the fuck?
Hmm. Hey, that was a good backup song.
Try this again.
To get too many.
They said it was at least 8.5 feet tall.
It wasn't more than
we probably locked eyes for maybe 3 seconds, and that was enough for me to just be completely scared out of my mind.
Have you put bait out too?
We have similar reports in Russia.
I must have watched it for about, a minute and a half.
A large something.
I couldn't explain what it was.
And that's when I saw the face peek out from behind the tree at me.
But ancient Native Americans have been recounting sightings for cities. Sightings of creatures all. The Creek.
They ran into this people that they called the Creek Nibbles.
Since the late 1950s, local and national newspapers have recounted eyewitness reports of 6 to 8 foot tall, hairy, man-like creatures roaming the mountains of Humboldt County in Northern California.
Crystal waters flow. No reason to consider company might show. But destiny would find you where you walked across the sand to leave a world divided. Did Roger film a Bigfoot or man? Where are you now, Patty?
Well, welcome, folks. It's that time once again for the Friday evening Bigfoot Radio. And now for the Bigfoot research teams from across the country. Welcome, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight?
Well, I tell you how I'm doing tonight. I'm sitting back having a dead fish sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
A dead fish sandwich.
I hope it's dead. Mm. I could see him eating a live fish, couldn't you? Yeah.
Well, you know something, you want to talk about live. When I was a kid, my father told me the most insane thing. He said when him and his sister were living up in Oklahoma years and years back, they were in this rowboat, and they were frog hunting and everything else. This, back in Oklahoma somewhere. And my dad's sister dared him to put a frog in his mouth. So what'd my dad do? He put the frog in his mouth, alrighty, ass backwards.
Oh. Is that a different flavor?
I bet it was for him. He told me once when he
was tasting tadpole.
He told me once when he was in Oklahoma, he's working in an airplane factory, putting airplanes and stuff like that, the engine together. And he was blind all his life. There's a lot of things though about blind people. They can do these amazing things, and you're sitting there scratching your head like, how the hell does people do this? Anyhow, on my dad's break, he sat down, took a sandwich out, and he put it on the bench. Well, being my dad couldn't see, he didn't realize that red ants crawled up right inside of a sandwich, okay? My dad said he picked it up, he bit into the sandwich, and the sandwich tasted like rye bread.
Ooh.
The
ants,
he said the ants were stinging his tongue. He said he didn't care, he just ate it anyhow.
Oh, wow.
Hey, extra protein, right?
I guess.
Oh, all right, another week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
How many weeks we got left? How many weeks do we have left before we change the time zone on Bigfoot radio?
We already changed.
Okay, but I mean, we're going on pause in May, or that's what I'm trying to find out.
In April, like we did before, and we'll start up in September, hopefully when I head back up north, even if I have to do the show from my Jeep.
Well, you do know that
before we got on the radio show, April, what are we going to end our show on there, Stephen?
Well, it'll be about, let's see, let me look for the calendar on
We're at the
calendar.
third.
Calendar. God, I swear this thing is slow as my mother. Come on.
don't worry. When he ends the show for that little respite, Segment Adventures will take off again.
I'm thinking about the 17th, the middle of the month.
17th. Really?
Well, when it gets hot out here, these computers don't work for a hoot. It gets 125 degrees. Ever heard of a computer working in that type of heat?
And that's okay.
You can do Snake Man Adventures for a while until I get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve, I sent you the info for that. Can you maybe make sure that gets out so that people can go to that and listen when the show's off?
Yeah. Just remember to record it.
Oh, yeah, I did record it. I sent it to you.
Okay.
I sent it to Chris, too. And I think I sent it to Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah, you did. So there.
Whatever. I don't care. In German, stick it up your arselarf.
Hey, don't make me get my daughter to speak German. Uh-oh.
I'm afraid of her.
Well, today, lads, getting back to our show subject, I am I'm going to be going bigfooting next week, and I went today to buy some supplies. I went to Tractor Supply, and I went to Walmart, and I picked up zip ties. I picked up some flashlights. I picked up some rain gear. Got a great price at Walmart compared to Tractor Trailer Supply. I got this nice lightweight rain gear, pants and jacket for $22. Okay. So believe me, when you're hiking and you're carrying shit, that 1 pound of whatever material you're carrying in your backpack is like 30 pounds when you after like 20 minutes. I mean, everything adds up. You're always for me, I'm always trying to get the lightest things or whatever. So I found that. I found this real thin flashlight. It's like a little bit bigger than the size of a magic marker. No bigger than a magic marker, big black pen. So I got that. I got bear mace. I have a bear horn, and I have another bear horn somewhere I got to find. Knives, 2 types of zip ties. Next week I'm going to be going for the food, but I'm just waiting. You know, they say it's going to rain on Saturday. I don't mind a little rain, but if it's going to be rain and cold, then I can't do it. I can't. So right now it's looking like it's going to be 60 degrees, and at night it's going to be in the low 40s, which is bearable. So I'm going up there tomorrow and check my campsite that I've been going to this past since 2020, and I've seen 7 Bigfoots.
Okay.
Total. And I don't know if they were the same ones, but I've seen 7 of them.
Okay.
And I'm going to go to my campsite. I'm going to try to drag any types of limbs and wood that I find on the ground to the site. So next week when I go there, that's one thing less I have to do. I bought a huge watermelon that I'm going to bring up with me tomorrow. And I brought some organic apples I'm going to bring up with me tomorrow. And I'm going to put them on the trail as I get to my spot in different locations. Mm-hmm. So next week when I come back up, if they're taken, perfect. I want them to be gone. So I know they're there and they're waiting, mm-hmm. which I assume they are. They should be excited to see me, man. Right. I hope they're excited to see me.
Hey,
any questions?
You said organic apple.
Did you get the figs? Did you get the other stuff you're going to get too?
Oh no! I got to wait till the day before because let's say there's still a week or so to go. I mean, they say it's rain on next Saturday, week from this Saturday, but I just want to make sure it's not downpouring every day. I went and bought my rain gear and zip tie, but I'm not going to get all the figs and shit because then what am I going to do? Then keep it and just eat it? I don't know. Buy figs, $80, $70.
Figs doesn't go bad at all. They really don't.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, it's either me eating them or the forest people eating them.
Oh, yeah.
I have 9 days, guys. This is how it goes. You've got 9 days. I'm 2,000 feet elevation where I'm at. And it gets cold up at 2,000 elevation instead of being at, 0 sea level. So, if it's going to be shitty weather and that, it isn't going to be, where I'm going to be out and rain and shit and making fires. It's too much.
Man, you gotta come over my neck of woods at 2,000 or 3,000 feet and get cold at all.
Yeah, that's crazy. You think it'd be cooler, but it's just that you got to prepare for all this stuff, man. You got to make sure you're ready to go. 3 weeks when I was in Colorado for 45 days. 35 I was by myself, and out of the 45 to 35 days I was by myself doing the mountain climbing. Yeah. I spent 3 days at a time, not even leaving my tent. Try doing that. Not leaving your tent. And you're over 10,500 feet elevated because the weather is so bad, you can't even make a fire. I can't even make a cup of coffee or hot chocolate. This is what it's like.
You said the weather is supposed to be cold. Maybe when next week gets here, it won't be so cold because, the weatherman's been so stupidly wrong so many occasions, it ain't funny.
Amen.
Maybe that's what. Are you going to bring a little butane stove or anything?
No, I do everything on fire, Anthony. I got my fire starters, which are these little wooden blocks, and you light them, and they'll give you fire for like 15 minutes. So while I have that going in my fire pit, I'm adding all the kindling and everything to build that fire up.
Right.
And that's what I do. I buy them, and then it's so much easier. Then I just get my sticks, get that going. And then in my fire pits, whenever I make a fire pit, I put 2 large rocks in the middle. And that's my base where if I need to put something in the fire pit, let's say like I'm bringing a tea kettle, I can put that on there and heat up my hot water. Or if I want to put a grill on top, I always put some rocks in the middle and then start my kindling and my fire in between those 2 rocks. And it always seems to work out well with me. And the perimeter then eventually after 3 or 4 hours of burning wood, man, it's just all charcoal. I mean, it just rises, man. I mean, I'm burning wood that it's there, and in the morning it's still warm. you know, and then I'll make my coffee in the morning and stuff like that. I have an old grill that I have on a limb on the side of a tree, a broken limb that I stuck up there, and it's been up there every time I come back, and I use that as a grate if I want to. I don't know. I mean, everything I eat nowadays, to be honest, is dry. You know, beef jerky, dry fruit, peanuts and almonds and things like that. So I don't want to cook anything because the bears are out now. The bears are out. The coyotes are out all year round. The mountain lions are already out year round. You know, so if I'm cooking something good, they're going to come over. And I mean, I've dealt with it before. I don't like dealing with it to attract their attention up there. So
mountain lions, they don't bother me. They really don't. I mean, I just take whatever chicken I can, stick it out there with a bowl of water or whatever, and let them have it. You know, I've never had a problem.
Put a laser light out there.
Do I? Yeah, put a laser light out there for the mountain lion to have fun with it. Or get her a little tiny round ball of catnip. That'll really brighten his day up.
That's an idea.
Hey,
yeah, catnip.
Are you gonna
catnip will play with a mountain lion's brain like you won't believe.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Sasquatch getting hold of catnip and it having the same effect?
Oh, fuck.
Well,
that would be something hilarious.
You might as well get a little round ball that's got catnip in it. Take the catnip out of it. Put marijuana in its place. Put the ball back together, and they'll be so damn stoned they won't know what the hell's going on.
I might like that, but I get drug tested like 2 to 3 times a year. I'd be doing it.
I don't mean you. I mean the animal.
Hell no. Oh, dear. Hey, you brought up a good point there. You said before about organic apples. What's the difference between organic apples and apples that grow on a tree? Aren't they both organic?
No.
That's a great question. Listen, today I bought the organic apples and I brought an organic melon. Okay, I'll take pictures and send it to you. I'm going to carry those up tomorrow. All I know, and people out there who wants to use this app, it's called YUKA, Yucca. And it tells you, it doesn't matter if it's Frosted Flakes to Campbell soup to whatever. If they're able to find out the additives, ingredients, they let you know if it's excellent, good, poor, or bad. Those 4 categories. Now, I had to go through shit today at Aldi's, and I got some excellent stuff to give the Bigfoots up there with apples and the melon I'm bringing up in my small backpack with about 5 bottles of water. Right. And I'm going to be out there for 5 or 6 hours, but I'm going to place them all along the tree. But, yeah, it makes a difference because I was going like, why are they leaving these pumpkin seeds and not touching these, or sunflower seeds and not touching these? And I leave them on these paper plates for them. It doesn't matter if I was in Colorado doing it, or Carolina, or Virginia, or West Virginia, or Connecticut. There's certain things they would be leaving and eat everything else out of the trail mix. And I'm going like, wow. Why are they? And it's because additives that they put into the foods that we eat. They're not putting these foods for Bigfoot and them to inspect and eat. I mean, shit we're putting in our bodies, people, is terrible. And I love chocolate milk. In 3 months now, I haven't had my favorites. I drink a gallon of chocolate milk, not anymore, because this Yucca app.
I can tell you how to make real homemade chocolate milk. It's not that hard. No additives at all either. You go to do they have something like a Sprouts where you're at?
Maybe another company similar to it. You mean like Whole Foods?
No, it's not. I never go to Whole Foods. I don't trust those people with a 10-foot pole.
Okay.
This is like a health food store that sells what they call A milk and B milk. It's cow's milk, but it's not. It doesn't come from a cow. It comes from bovines. A bovine is a different from a cow. A bovine is different. Anyhow, they got this bovine milk, and all you have to do is go to the store and buy that Hershey's cocoa powder, and you take the cocoa powder and put it with your milk, and you add a little bit of what do you call that, agave to it, and you stir it up real good as you're heating it up. And when it's through dissolving and heating it up, then you pour it in a big old container, you put it in the refrigerator, and guess what? You got homemade cold chocolate milk.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to skim that cocoa milk. And if it gives me good or above, I'll do it. If it's going to give me poor or bad, I ain't going to use it.
Huh.
Hey,
Well,
have
you could get carob milk if they have it.
Oh, the milk here is fine, big guy. It's not that. It's the chocolate and other shit they put in it, strawberry, whatever. I mean, that kills it. Every time I scan the whole milk or 2% milk or 1%, good or excellent. It's what they're putting into it to have the chocolate flavor, the strawberry flavor that makes it. It says the word bad. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Get that Yucca app. It's free. Oh. I got it. The only pain in the ass about it is it used to take me half an hour, 45 minutes to grocery shop. Now it takes me an hour and a half. And I'm going through Aldi's and I'm checking everything. Boom, boom. Or I go through Walmart. Boom, boom, boom. The scanner. It gives you a scanner for each thing. It tells you good, bad, and then if you want to look what's bad, you just hit additives, and there it goes. It breaks it down.
Okay, question. How many Bigfoots would you say are up in Colorado?
Hundreds and thousands.
Wow. I hate to be the person that has an animal farm up there. Their animals are going to start walking away.
Okay.
What I mean by walking away is because when a lot of people don't realize this, and it happens in California too, when a Bigfoot comes to your farm at night and you hear some weird noises, a Bigfoot's actually picking up one of the creatures or your livestock or horses or whatever and walking off with them. You'll get up the next morning and you'll notice you have a couple animals gone. Well, believe it or not, those animals are going to be on a spigot, and the big guy up in the forest is going to be having a nice big snack.
Mm.
Now you get it?
Now,
yeah.
Yep. Now, have you thought of, Chris, of getting the MREs that have the heater pack already built in, so all you got to do is add water and it heats it up?
That's a good reminder. No, I haven't thought of that. I usually just boil my tea kettle and then pour the cocoa, what do you call it, the hot chocolate, or my instant coffee in the cup, and I drink it that way with powdered milk or something.
Or you could get that Swiss Miss.
Yeah, no, I try to make everything as simple as possible. And I just, and I try to stay up as late as I can, to like 2 a.m, and burning that fire. And then when I know it's getting, to 2:30, it just depends on the entertainment, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of entertainment up there. I'm not kidding you. When you start seeing those 2 white specks in the woods,
those 2 eyeballs looking at you,
you start going, okay, that's like having energy drinks. I mean, like the Wings commercial, whatever, get you Red Bull.
Yeah.
Man, your adrenaline just starts. Like, okay, what are these 2? Is it Bigfoot? Is it Dogman? Is it reflection? It's not a reflection off of a raccoon or animal, because it just so strong, and they you're just waiting for them to make their move, and hopefully you don't offend them or do anything that, gets them upset. And yeah, and I was, one time I'm just walking, I'm going to take a pee, and I'm walking maybe 10 yards, 30 feet, 40 feet from my fire. I'm going to take a piss. And then I look up. And then in the tree, same distance away, maybe 20 yards away or something, there's three little Bigfoots, little ones in the tree looking at me, and they're glowing, and their heads are moving in 3 different directions. And I called Jeannie over. I said, Jeannie, come over here. She was immediate. I said, come on, look. And when she sees them, and they're moving their heads like owls, like their heads were going around in a circle, back, forth, 3 of them on the tree, a limb together. And I go, look, okay, they brought the little ones, told them, didn't think I'd spot them, but they would put them on the tree up there, and there they were, and she's like frozen, going, oh my God, and I'm loving it because I'm used to it. But you just, I think by myself this time, I'm going to be rewarded. I think this time, I'm not going to bring anybody with me up here. I'm going to be there for 5 nights, and and hopefully the ones that know me from the past will show up like they did 2 years ago when I was up there, and I brought my friend John, and there were 3 of them that came that time, and was a female, a male, and a juvenile male, and he wanted to come with me. I said, nope, you can't come with me this time. I got to go by myself. He was really upset, but I said no. I got to make contact. So, guys, what I'm trying to tell you on this version, that it's more than just looking at them. What I am going out there is more than just staring and waving and throwing an apple at them. No, it's going to be physical contact. That's what I'm going for. None of this, I'm not afraid anymore. I've done this for almost 20 years now, since 2008. I'm going that far, and I know they're not going to hurt me.
I'm sitting here laughing because you said something about getting physical with a Bigfoot, and the first thing that popped in my mind is when you told me that story about that guy that was wearing a freaking ghillie suit. He took that piece off his head, and that Bigfoot just sat there and freaked out.
Well, what came to mind for me was I was going to ask you, do we need to send you a Barry White album along with you?
If it helps, I'll take it. I'm serious, dude. I'm not kidding. That's why I bought.
Well, if you do take something, get something that you can put something like Bluetooth and take a stereo up there with you and play nice, soft music. They love soft music. They really do.
Hey,
you know what is it? Go ahead.
Just don't play anything romantic. They might take it the wrong way.
I was going to say, you play that music, and next thing you know, Chris, you got that Sasquatch putting his arm around you. Then you're really going to be in trouble.
Oh, I couldn't be so lucky.
You're in for it, my dude. You are in for it.
Oh, boy.
I'm serious, man. I'm not kidding you, man. I'll tell you, my friend wasn't with me last time, and those 3 that came, that's why I brought this flashlight I bought today. It wasn't that expensive, but it was a thin, like a magic marker. But I'm bringing that thin one so I can go through the woods. It won't be enough because they hate flashlights. Bigfoots do not like light. They do not. They feel very uncomfortable with it. They don't like it in their eyes for some reason in their body. So I got this little tiny military type one, and I'm going to bring that around my feet so I don't, I'm walking in the dark. And let me tell you something. Rocks and boulders and pricker bushes and mountain laurel and trees falling down. I mean, you're going to get hurt. There's no doubt. You're going to get hurt. And you got the timber rattlesnakes up there. I mean, you got bears. You got lion. You're gonna get hurt if you're not careful. Yeah. And this is serious as shit. It ain't no going to campsite stuff.
Have you ever tried?
What?
Well, have you ever tried using what they call soft light, like soft blue light or something like that? Because their eyesight is very temperamental when it comes to certain type of lights. If you're using something like blue light, that doesn't bother them. It's white light that for some strange reason, they don't like white light because they get the same thing from cars and stuff,
I don't know if
exactly what I was thinking.
Well, that's what I got to find. I didn't see that anywhere at Tractor Trailer or at Walmart.
Oh.
But there was one time where a Bigfoot came to my cabin and was just staring at me. And he just was staring at me. And I'm talking less than 30 yards.
Wow.
And And I'm trying to tell you this because it was over an hour. He was staring at me. He wouldn't move. But I took all my trail cameras down. That's when they came. You take your trail cameras down. They don't feel threatened. They're going to come. So at least with me, they did. So I'm sitting there in my cabin, and I start walking down towards him to walk him. Now, this is the biggest one I've ever seen. He was a 12-footer, wider than my freezer.
Yeah, he was an alpha male.
Let me tell you something here, man. All right. So this was the first time I ever encountered eye shine. Uh-huh. So as I am getting off the last step and I'm walking in the woods to walk to him, and I was going to bow down, and this is what I was in my mind, bow down. I didn't bring fruit with me then. I was just walking there, and then as I got closer, bingo! His freaking eyes just started like orange red, busting out like a car headlight. And I'm going, holy shit. I said, what's going on here? This is like science fiction now. I did not ever see that. And this was like in 2016. And I'm going, oh, man, and I was there since 2008. So time has passed that they never really revealed their eye shine to me. So, and this big MF is like there, and he's wide, and he's just staring, not even moving. So when I see this headlights coming out of his skull, I go, wait a minute here. I started like, was taking a couple of steps back because I was walking to him. And so I took my flashlight, and I flashed it on his face, and he ran behind a tree that was like 15, 20 feet to his left, ran behind it and hid behind it. And I knew that was bothering him. So I said, okay, all right. But still he had those wounds in his eyes. So I turned the thing off, and he walked out to the middle again. But he kept his eye shine on. So I put the flashlight, and I just flashed it at his feet. Okay, and then he was there, but I don't know why he turned the headlights on, but he did. And I was just not ready for it. I was ready to go there. I was going to kneel in front of him, man, like showing his dominance over me. I was not. That was in my mind. I'm ready for it. You know, I was not scared about that because him and his tribe of family members would have killed me many times. But I never saw the freaking eyes like that, and that screwed me up. So I shined the feet. Then I said, okay, I'm coming back. I'm walking backwards. I went up to my deck, sat on my deck. I said, okay, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? I went inside. I grabbed a couple of apples. I ate my apple, and I was shining my light on my face as I was eating the apple, showing that I was eating food. Boom. And I took 30 minutes, core and all, to eat that whole apple, and he didn't come closer. So I left the one apple on top of the railing. And I said, okay, I'll sit over here on my chair, turn my back to you, and I'm just praying, just come take the apple, break bread, let's be friends, whatever. Turned around 15 minutes later, apple's still there, he's still there. Okay, so I turned around, I was looking, I'm only 8 feet from the apple, I was sitting in a rocking chair looking the opposite way, hoping he would feel more comfortable then, and walking up and taking it. Turn around 30 minutes later, apple's still there, he's still there. And then, I don't know, another 5 or 10 minutes, I turn around again, he's gone. Apple's still there. So I waited till the morning, came back out, apple's still there. So one of my biggest regrets is how I could have handled that better. And I'm hoping this time, like I said, I'm making physical contact, I'm grabbing them, giving them a hug. I am people. This is where I'm at. You know, I've done so much in the Bigfoot skill and in interactions. This is the next step. There's nothing more. So, and it doesn't matter if I was in Colorado with my interactions, which I blew it in there, and I blew it in Virginia. It just should have already been done. I was hoping to get any type of ingredients of knowledge or anything that I could be taught and learned. And so I'm hoping this time I get that, because, you know, like I said, I'm going to Asia again this summer. So you never know what happens when you're in the jungles of Asia, in Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. So I'm going that route, but I'm hoping this will bring some light and some positiveness for the show.
Right.
Are you gonna put trail cams around where your tent is so you can see what's going on while you're sleeping?
No. That's the wrong thing to do with them. Then you lose their trust. I've done that. If it would work, I would keep doing it. I had to take all my trail cams down.
Actually,
I had to take them all down.
Do you work?
I can't use them. I wish they would work, but it just keeps them more of an untrusting. Just like carrying a firearm when you're out there with them. The majority of the time, they don't trust you. I know you do, Steve, with your snakes and all you freaking took it. Believe me, they don't trust you that far.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, have you tried getting what they call camera glasses? Because they wouldn't be able to see those.
That's a good. You're on point there. I don't know, but all I've known, and if I someday share with you the SD cards of them screwing with my having fun playing with my trail cameras and turning them around or moving them around, and dead of winter, I'm not even out there in the woods in the dead of winter. I set them up out there, but when I go back to check the camera, they know what the cameras are. They do. That's why it's so difficult.
I sent a pair of these glasses to Snake Man a couple years ago. They worked for a while and then they quit, but they look like just a regular pair of glasses. You can see out of them. They don't look nothing like sunglasses. They just look like regular glasses, but in the center of them, they got a camera. And the camera is so small, they can't even see it. And you can walk out there with this thing on, and you can take pictures of them and everything. Ever see that picture I sent you years back where there was a Bigfoot? I think it was up on a mountain range in, Northern California somewhere. It's when Jan Allen was on the show. What was the name of that place? It was in Siskiyou County.
It doesn't matter, but we're talking about so the picture was taken.
I took pictures with the glasses. They didn't even know I even had the glass. They didn't even know there was a camera on them, basically.
Was there an SD card in it?
Yep, SD card was in it. The camera the glasses had its own built-in battery, and they couldn't smell that either. And it was fantastic. I don't even have those glasses no more. I think I lost them somewhere.
That's a great idea.
Pair of them too.
If you go to my YouTube channel, I have a video on there where I'm taking live video of footprints up in Shasta County. You can see the footprints next to my foot, and these footprints are pretty big. They're big, and I'm wearing boots, by the way, and they were bigger than my boots. Well, anyhow, if you take and download my YouTube channel I'll have to send you the video. You can take that video and you can make pictures of it somehow by slicing it up on certain apps on on Google. And when you get it back, there's one picture there where you can actually see a Bigfoot standing right next to a tree watching me.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
it worked.
have you thought, Chris, of go into the Army surplus and see if they got those L-shaped flashlights with the color lenses?
Okay, I don't have it. Unfortunately, in this state, Army Navy was big in Colorado. I know that. That's where I went several times when I was out there 2 years ago. In the Rockies doing the Bigfooting thing. But here in Connecticut, I got to check that out then. I wonder if they have Army Navy here.
You mean those
That's
old military shops where they carry the military backpacks and MRI food and all that stuff?
MREs.
Whatever.
The food.
Well, you're going to really get going there.
But you know, I know now what Chris reminds me of. He reminds me of a version of Jacques Cousteau, except for Bigfoot.
Yeah, that sounds good right there, Jacques Cousteau.
All right, I got a question for Chris because, you know, I've had a bunch of experiences too, you know, with the eye shine and stuff like that. But I just want to know if something like this has happened to you, because this has happened to me. Yes, I'm 100% with you. The frickin' buggers do not like light at nighttime. They don't like it. Matter of fact, I was happened to watch an incident with David Paulides, and there was a woman that had her home in the deep woods, and one of the creatures came up to her porch and ripped the spotlight out from, you know, either the side or the front entrance, you know, because they didn't like that light. You know what I mean? So, but I missed that, you know, you probably heard me say one time when I was with East Coast Jack when we were at Pocahontas State Park, at the end of our time there, you know, we were careful not to turn the light on, you know, but he said, turn it on, you know, right at the end, shine it that way. And when I showed it, you know, they threw rocks at us, you know, but we didn't sleep there, obviously, you know. But there were times when I would be somewhere and I would shine the light on them. And yes, sometimes they would hide behind a tree. You know, one time I saw one pacing back and forth in the available light. And then when I shone my light on it, it was like, oh, they got behind a tree, and then it like slowly stuck out. You know, you could only see one eye instead of the two prior to it going behind the tree and stuff like that. But one of the things I noticed after shining the light on them, I could not sleep. Not because they, you know, throwing anything, you know, or making loud noises, but it was like I couldn't tell, but I just felt like they were doing something to make my sleep uncomfortable. And it was like anytime that, you know, or finally you dozed off and you went to sleep, like, oh, what was that? You know what I mean? It was like, you know, and it was like nothing loud, but it was like, oh, it was just something uncomfortable. I just couldn't sleep after. And one thing that I noticed was after I shone the light in their face, you know? So so my question is, has that happened to you when you were out there?
Well, you listen, I'm always in the tent, Anthony. But when I was in Colorado, I just was out and I was looking at them. There were, all four of them were up in the trees. And they were on these trees that were on an angle going down the slope of the mountain. So they climbed up to as far as they could, and they were on my level looking. That's how big these trees were. And there were four of them were up there. And I'm sitting there waving to them. I'm always waving to them. I'm letting them know that I'm here. I see them there, and they'd be seeing me. And, you know, the male would sometimes just close his eyes. And that's what he was smart at. He would close his eyes so I couldn't see his eye shine. Yeah. And he would tell the females also to close your eyes because this guy can't see your eye shine where you are. First time that they ever realized, I saw them do that. The other time, years of doing it, they always left their eyes open. This guy in Colorado was smart. So I'm going, okay, you want to come down? I can't walk down to you at the base of the tree because I'm going to fall to my death because I can't see where I'm going, and I can't bring the flashlight. Because when I bring the flashlight, they're going to get all bugged out like they did the first night when I saw them. So I didn't bring the flashlight. So I can't crawl on my hands and knees down the rocks of this mountain because the moon wasn't shining, it was overcast. So I kid you not. As soon as I get into my tent, which is within a few minutes, I'm talking and I'm making a YouTube video on it, and all of a sudden I hear. I'm going, okay. And it was in like, after I zippered my tent, it couldn't have been more than like 30 seconds. Now, I don't know how they came down that tree and then came up the mountain that quick, but there they were. And I'm going, is this an insect? Suddenly I got it. It's called Bigfoot tapping on my tent. And then all of a sudden, at the 103rd minute, a minute and 3 seconds, you hear, You hear them talking to each other. And that's how fast they can move. These things are magical, man. And it's all there to see it. I got it all posted. So everybody's listening and saying bullshit, go to it. It's all on there. So you can't miss it. It's only a 2-minute video. But at first I'm thinking it was a moth. I'm going, there's no way that's them camping on my tent. You know, I'm thinking there's some big moth, like you seen the light inside the tent trying to hit it. But no, it was them. And making me sleep, no problem me sleeping at that altitude. Okay? So in Virginia, I never had any problem sleeping, Anthony, answering your question. Now, who knows with this vacation or trip, I can call it vacation. I'll be there for 5 nights. But, you know, if I can't sleep, then I can't sleep. The other thing that is worse is that smoke that comes from the fire, man. And when the wind blows, it's just like, no matter where you walk around that fire, that seems like that smoke follows you. That's the only thing that kills my eyes and makes me, like, you know, hurt and not sleep. Because when I get in my tent, I smell like I've came out of a fireman's fire brigade.
Yeah. Huh? Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Did you know that the wrong mattress protector can ruin the feel of your mattress? Hi, I'm a mom. One of the hardest jobs out there. This is Junior. Junior's a sweetheart, but he can wreak havoc on our mattresses. Which is why I got the purple mattress protector. Nobody likes sleeping on a plastic bag. Other protectors turn your bed crinkly or stiff, and they make your mattress noisy, hot, and uncomfortable. Like a Nickelback concert, or the first year of my marriage. A mattress protector that ruins the feel of your mattress makes about as much sense as my husband's conspiracy theories. The purple protector is stretchy, so it lets your bed do what it was designed to do. The purple protector enhances your purple bed, or any bed. It's soft and flexible, so it doesn't take away from the supporting power of your mattress. It cradles your pressure points when you lay down, instead of making your mattress hard and uncomfortable, like watching Transformers 4 through the window of an RV. And the stretchiness means it's super durable, which is nice because Junior has vivid night terrors about deforestation. With other protectors, I always felt like I was choosing between comfort and protection. I shouldn't have to make that choice. I need to protect my mattresses. They're a big investment, especially on my husband's salary. With purple, I don't have to choose. It's stretchy, which means it's comfy, and it protects my mattresses, which is a huge relief. And as any parent knows, the most important part of a mattress protector is protecting against stains and moisture. My little guy's pretty good when he's awake, but nighttime is a toss-up, and that's okay. Accidents happen. No more mystery stains on your nice mattress. The purple protector is waterproof and water absorbent, which will keep your mattress dry and clean. It protects the top and the sides of your mattress, so no matter what spills or leaks out of your family members, you'll know your mattress and your warranty are safe. It's stain resistant, so I can just throw the protector in the wash and it's good as new. I wish I could do that to my husband. It's hypoallergenic and non-toxic, and it's resistant to dust mites, which can be a problem in the forest. It's cool and breathable, which means no more waking up sweaty and damp like a Wookiee's armpit. I even have one on my bed. It's so comfy, I can forget it's even there. So when Junior gets scared and joins me in bed, I can rest easy knowing my mattress is protected. It even comes with its own 10-year warranty. What a sweetie. Being a mom can be so fulfilling. And the purple protector gives me one less thing to worry about. If you or your little monster sleep, click now to protect your mattress. Order your stretchy, soft, waterproof, stain-resistant purple protector today. You better believe it's real.
And we're back. I never get a kick out of that. And Chris even has one of those purple, what do you call those things?
Purple Nurple?
I don't know if it's purple nurple. You have it. I don't.
Hey, Chris, I had a question for you. Are you going to try to use or download a EMF detector to check for EMF spikes, just for the portal sake of it?
Well, that's an excellent question. No, I haven't thought about it, but there are some crazy things there, man. That's the other thing, guys, that, when you're out there in the woods, as you've all experienced stuff, there are other things besides the Bigfoot. And I just hope good karma comes and because some of these orbs, like when I was up there with a genie who's a medium, she took a picture of this orb, and then she opened it up and blew it up, and then finally we're looking inside, and there's this canine inside this orb, barking like with its teeth, angry as it went past us. Now, I saw this orb with her, but you got it on the video, and it went past us, and she opened it up, and besides a canine being in this orb, there was a figure that looked like it belonged in Lord of the Rings, man. I mean, it was looking back at us. Okay, because when this orb came by us, when flying by and going back into the woods, we were out in that little open range that were on the top of the mountain, and it went by us, and it was like a reddish orb. And just you look and you see this like coyote or wolf or something with these teeth barking like when it was like it was in a car, and you have your pet in the car, and it's a dog, and he's angry and he's barking at another person in another car or another dog. It was like that, and then behind him, this figure like belonging to the underworld was behind this dog looking at us. And it was like wild. I have the picture somewhere. I'll find it and send it to you. But it was in this orb. So, Bruce, yes, there's a lot of things that you could probably use with the EMF and sounds. Or I'm gonna do one night. I'm gonna just leave my phone on. That's the only thing I gotta get. I have a big 72 hour charger. So I'll be there for 5 nights. It's supposed to last for 72 hours for charging. But I'm going to leave a night to see what sounds and things I can get on my phone. I'll leave out. But, they're there. There are all kinds of things out in the woods, as you guys know. And that would keep me up and not let me, Anthony. Things like that, Anthony, weird things, I showed you that I sent you that picture of Dog Man a month or so ago, but I caught on camera. I took it, and I didn't even know I took it. And so it just, there he was on that ridge. And if it wasn't for that lady in Ohio that spotted it on my video, I would never have known that it was following me. She saw it. That's all she does. She just does film work of everybody's video. That's what she does. Robin H. So she's listening, call in, but she did a lot of work for me. I didn't even ask her. So things like that. And there was another sighting of the Dog Man in Massachusetts, as crow flies, less than 20 miles from where I am. On western Massachusetts, and someone claimed that they saw the Dog Man there. And there was another recently sighting of a Dog Man I was looking at in lower Massachusetts, maybe 20 miles away from me. So there are all kinds of things out there. And that's the things I don't like. I'm not bringing any firearms. All I have is a bear spray, bear horn, and some big knives. That's it. No bow and arrow, no slingshot or something like that. So I think I'm going to do one night with us out there.
Well, I'm hoping that, you come back, in 2 weeks and let us know, get some good stuff to share with us.
Well, he's going to be on the show while he's doing this, so.
I'll do one night. Now, you see this thing, 17th now. I get out on the last day of work is the 10th. So the 11th is a Saturday. And I go back on the 20th. I got 9 days off. But I'm just going to use the first 5 days. If I have to stay longer, then I will. But I'll bring enough to last maybe 10 days of food. Not that I eat that much when I'm out there, because I normally don't.
And
but
if we have to, we can make a special show for the certain day that he's out there, and you can keep it real cool and quiet so we can hear some of the stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm happy to do that. I hope I pick a night, that they're coming. I mean, I know they're going to be coming. I hope it's the last night I was there. It was the 5th night because I brought a stranger with me. But this time I'm bringing a stranger. I'm bringing myself, but they did come.
Now, let me ask you, have an audio recorder? Because that, to me, that's like my number one backup. And if, game cameras or, other cameras, stuff but that audio recorder, man, I always caught stuff.
You're right. An audio recorder I have on my phone. I have recorded stuff in Virginia on my audio recorder. They were there. They came up to the person's house that I was there, and I would fill up the bird seeds. There was 1, 2, 3, 4 bird seeds feeders that I would fill up, and they would come up, and you could hear them going, running across the yard. And the audio recorder would hear their footsteps running, and then they get to the plastic birds, and they'd break them. And then I'd have to tape them up, or I'd have to go into town and buy new bird seed feeders. But then they're in a group. Like, I think there was like 4 of them. And I recorded that. I got that.
Now, hold on. You said you recorded it on your phone, or you have a dedicated audio recorder? Because I'm talking about a dedicated audio recorder, because those audio recorders, like the one that I have is an Olympus brand, and it's just an audio recorder. I like this one because this audio recorder also has a microphone boost on it. So once I had that enabled, all I have to do is set it and forget it, and it picks up every little freaking thing. You know what I mean? So
I had it on my phone, but maybe I should get that. Maybe I'll go this week. I'll try to see if I can get a Walmart or somewhere and get an audio recorder. But my phone worked great.
Well, Chris, we can always have Steve make you some of that garlic juice of his.
Yeah, that'll make them more observant and loud, and work for the audio.
Well, another cool thing about having a dedicated audio recorder like the Olympus brand is because, even after you record it, right, and you play it back, it also filters out a lot of background noise. You know what I mean? So that you can, hear things clearer, than regular recording.
Okay, that might be. When I'll look into it this week to buy one or something, I'll go there at a Walmart, because my phone, I would have it where it would let me know the time. Boom. So let's say it was on for 10 hours. It'd go for 35 minutes. Boom. And it'll show me that real quick. There's the first sound. Boom. Another sound maybe at 45 minutes. Boom. And then it'll be gone for an hour, and then pick it up, and it'll explain. It'll let me know the points during the night. But it picked up other things too, like cars or something, a tractor trailer going by. It would, some sounds like that from the distance. It would also pick that up. In early morning, when the birds were awakening, they were going. But during the night, man, those Bigfoots would come out, and they would bust up them bird seed feeders. I mean, I'm not kidding you. Shatter them to get to the food.
I believe it.
On that. That's another thing I didn't buy. I didn't buy the suet with the bird seed. When I was at the cabin, they enjoyed that. But I think a month ago, I did scan a few of those on my Yucca app, and they gave it a bad grade, man. And I don't want to give them anything more bad grade. I mean, I know I fed them. I was bad giving them pizzas and cookies and Snicker bars. Okay, I'm guilty of that. But bird food, I shouldn't be. You know, they love the fat and the lard on it. You know, on some of those. You know, I want them to be happy. If they're happy, they're going to come and see me. Okay, that's the thing I've known. You make food with friends. I don't care what people say. That's one way to break the ice. I don't care if you're dealing with a wolf, you're dealing with a bear, you're dealing with whatever. You know, a human being. You know, if you sit down and eat food, you're going to have a little bit more of respect and hopefully, you know, a sincerity. You know, and those guys have known me. I'm only 3 miles from the cabin, people. What I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to be camping as the crow flies, 3 miles from the cabin. So they're the same tribe. So, you know, I know they're not going to forget me for all those years, and so on. So that, but who else goes bumping tonight to come to visit? That I can't tell you. That I'm clueless, you know.
So, Chris, what you're saying is you are the reason why the Bigfoot are obese now?
Yeah, that's it. I'm blushing. Especially that. Remember that guy you brought in? That great guest that we had. He was pissed when I gave him pizza and shit like that. But hey, I did because they enjoyed it or they didn't enjoy it. They didn't have to eat it. They let me know.
Poor Sasquatch has diabetes now.
Yes, now I'm the reason for it. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, you know, he doesn't want to really tell you exactly about Bigfoot or talk about it, but he doesn't want you definitely not to make sure their stomach is hurting or, I give them diabetes or high blood pressure.
It can't be no worse than what they're getting out there in the woods.
Who knows? You know that's another thing, man. I've been lucky to eat the mushrooms out there. They got this spring is good because it's similar to October and September, late September and October. Yeah, you get these chicken of the woods, chicken of the hens, morel mushrooms. It's all good eating.
Yeah, even the cantrells are good too.
Yes.
And a lot of your restaurants, they use cantrell mushrooms, and those cantrells are not cheap. When mushroomers go out there and they pick those things up, and they sell them to the restaurants use them in their food and stuff, and those are not cheap.
You're going to have to make him up a batch of your garlic juice.
Yeah, if I make my batch of my garlic juice, he puts it on them, puts them on himself or whatever, they'll think it was one big walking salad.
Yeah, you know, that's something I'm going to bring with me is the garlic, because I've heard that they enjoy garlic. Huh. They do not eat onions. I can tell you that right now. They will not touch an onion. Okay, I brought out onions here, onions there, and nope. They would not even, no.
Yeah, because
garlic,
onions is like eating a habanero to them. It burns their mouth.
Oh.
Do not leave them any of those. Do not leave those poor Sasquatch any habaneros.
Yeah, they'd be pissed.
They wouldn't be pissed. They'd be looking for the nearest water hole.
Yeah, that's the other thing bad about where I'm at. The water hole is at the base of the mountain. Jeez. So it's 45 minutes just to get down the mountain, and it's, you know, but I'm bringing water, brother. Let me tell you, I'm bringing 10 gallons of water. So I have 2 gallons for every day. I'm bringing that so I can make my coffee, my hot chocolate, and what I want to drink. Yeah, I'm going to have that. Thing is, I got to go down the mountain to get another 2 and carry them up with me. That's the thing that I hate.
Yeah, and make sure you don't take no gun out there. We don't want to shoot one of these dumb things.
No, but I did send you some, both you and Bruce, that asshole from, I think he's from Oklahoma or Arkansas. Did you see that? He baits the Bigfoot to come out. He puts food and shit for him, and you see the eye shine where he's at. But he fires his gun, this is at night, and he fires his 30-06 trying to kill the fucker. And I wrote him a nasty fucking letter. You know, I said, motherfucker, what are you doing? He said, well, they're on my property, and I'm baiting them, and I want them off my property. I'm going like, son of a bitch. And yeah, I don't know if you guys watch what I send you. I know, Anthony, I know you would, but I don't have you on Messenger. But, I can't send you these videos on regular Messenger. But if you have the other Messenger, Facebook, I can send you what I've been sending Steve and Bruce. And this guy was just downright, like, leave food out. And then you see their heads and the eyes shining in the distance, and then he takes shots out there. Trying to shoot him, kill him.
Why would he shoot something? That makes no sense.
I know it. So it got me so infuriated. I wrote to him. I said, motherfucker, what's your address? Excuse my language. I was like, I wanted to go up there and shoot him. He was terrible. Terrible. He's laying out the food out there. And you could see this eye shine of two eyes where he left the food out in the dark. And he's shooting his gun.
I've seen all these things most of all my life growing up, and I've never, ever once took a weapon at him. That's like going hunting for a deer. I ain't going to do that. What the hell did deer ever do to me? Nothing.
You know, there's a contrast for hunters, but I understand what you're saying. They never did anything, and this guy just he says, I'm going to get him off my property, and I'm going to show the world that I got him. I don't care. And there it was. He was behind a tree. And he was taking a shot. He didn't reply to my letter, but I sent it to you. If you look at the stuff I sent you, you'll see that what particular one he's shooting at.
Yeah.
Bruce?
He fell asleep.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, let everybody know I got my new filter for my throttle body for my Jeep, so I'm going to take the old throttle body filter off. I've got an HHO fuel cell I'm going to drop into my Jeep because these gas prices are getting ridiculous. And as soon as I get this thing put together, my Jeep will be running like almost 80% gasoline and 20% HHO, and I'll be getting phenomenal fuel mileage.
Wonderful.
So instead of getting like 19 miles to the gallon, I'll probably be getting somewhere between 40 or 60 miles to the gallon.
That's significant. Wow.
How high is your gas right now, Steve?
Yuma, Arizona right now is at $4.08. That's getting ridiculous.
That's terrible.
California and Los Angeles is almost, it's 7 something. I'm pretty sure it's almost going to hit $8 a gallon. I'm glad I don't live in LA. Hell with that crap.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people in LA, but like I tell everybody on the X platform, anywhere else, you wouldn't catch me dead in LA. Just because I was born there means I have to live there. Hell no.
Well, that's too bad. Here in Connecticut, I spent $3.79 a gallon at BJ's. Now that's because I'm a member of BJ's. I got it for $3.79, but regularly everything is at $4 to $4.09 here.
You said
$4.10.
You said BJ's?
Yeah, but
I'm not even going to comment to that.
Oh, come on, man.
It's popular in the East Coast. I know. What a name. They compete with Costco. You ever heard of Costco?
Oh, yeah. Costco's part of, I think they're part of, what do you call it?
Sam's Club?
Yeah, Sam's Club, that's right.
Yeah, we have that too, but not as many. But it's BJ's or Costco here in New England on the East Coast. Do you have BJ's in Anthony in Virginia?
We got Costco's and Sam's Club. If there's a BJ's, it might, far from me, but I don't know of any other parts of Virginia, but there's a Sam's Club, like 30 minutes away, and then there's a Costco like an hour and a half away.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Costco's is part of the Sam's Club.
Yeah, I know. When I was a kid growing up in Shasta County, California, excuse me, we used to have this bus driver, and he always used to run his trucks off of urethane, or not urethane, what do you call it? Methane. He'd run his vehicles off of methane that he'd make himself, make like a gasoline out of it for his vehicle. And every time he drove his truck past our house, it smelled like a sewer. God.
So let me guess, he was driving a fart fit Nugan?
Something like that. Every time he went past our family's house, it smelled like a sewer just went past us.
Well, people here, there's one guy that goes around to like dumpsters of restaurants and takes the cooking oil.
Yeah, you can take cooking oil, and if you cook it just right, you can make diesel out of it.
Right.
Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can make diesel out of cooking oil.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a big thing on TV they had about this guy, and he had like a diesel Mercedes or something. And he goes around the Chinese restaurants or any kind of restaurants, and he takes the oil, and I don't know how he does it afterwards, but he pours it into his engine, and he runs. He says he never pays for gas.
Ever. Good for him.
Yeah.
Have you guys been seeing the stuff going around their feeds, popping up all over the place of zombie attacks and stuff like that in the UK? And it's supposed to be like underground stuff.
Zombie?
Yeah, I told Snakeman a couple years ago. He said, there's no such thing as zombies. And I said, I'll tell you what, the CDC, if you go to their website, the CDC actually has a page where it actually talks about zombies. And he said, no shit. So I sent him a copy of it, and his mouth dropped and hit the floor. A zombie apocalypse.
I just watched the movie 28 Years Later. Have you seen that on Netflix?
No.
Well, 28 years ago, there was a zombie movie called 28 Days about this virus. And it started in Europe, in England. And everybody got this virus because of some monkey strain that contaminated. It got bit this guy that they were using on strains. I don't know if it was for military situations or whatever, but the basis is this, it happened 28 years ago, and Ralph Fiennes has been on the last two ones. One was 28 Years Later and The Bone Collector. And they're back-to-back movies that just came out, and it's about the zombie virus and how Ralph Fiennes is an actor, a very famous actor, look him up. He tries to come up with a remedy, but he's living in this apocalypse world where, everybody's killed to live. It doesn't matter if you don't have the virus. You still got to worry about people that don't have the virus because they just want to kill you just to kill you and take whatever you got. And then you got to fight these zombies. And in the movie, in both movies, he's trying to survive and come up with a serum, and he does. He does come up with a serum. I don't want to say the ending of it or whatever, but there's a sequel. So after you saw the end of the second one that just came out, there's another one that's going to be out following it. But yes, to your point about zombies, I mean, I'm not. The virus they could probably implement the virus on the public and make people want to eat each other or kill each other. Yes, I'm sure the government could do that. If they're dead and bringing them back to... Huh?
A lot of the government offices like the mayor's office and stuff like that, they have pamphlets out what to do in the event of a zombie apocalypse, and it's right there with all the other flyers that they have.
Jesus. What does that tell us?
Shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the head,
Just
yeah.
hide behind Steven.
Hell with you.
Just hide behind Steven.
Hell with you.
We'd use Kira as a shield.
I don't think so. Kara's not online.
She was on a few minutes ago.
Huh?
She was on a little while ago.
Yeah, she fell off.
No, but did you see the video? I think I shared it with you guys. Didn't you?
Did you?
Did you guys see him? Yeah.
Was the zombie one?
Yeah.
I probably did. I look at so many things. I'll go back and look at it again. I'm sorry. I always
I've actually been taking. Right, I've been taking it easy on you and not sending a lot of stuff.
Yeah, don't send me too much because I'll never get to it all. With my work, getting up that early and getting back home late, I never look at the phone. We're not allowed. They have cameras in the buses, so if they see me looking on my phone or making a phone call, if they look, I'm fired. So there have been not 2 years, not in the past 2 years, but prior to that, yes, people get fired because they text or they're on their phone. I did this past year with you. If I'm on drugs?
I did one with Chris, but he was already off work. He was taking the bus back to the boneyard.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody was, but they still would give me hell about that anyways, but I don't think I'd get fired because there's no kids.
Right. I know what I was going to ask you. Did you get to talk to anybody about the graveyard at that farm or whatever it was?
Excellent point. And I'm embarrassed to say I go by it every day, but I look at it every day, but it's like I don't have time to stop on my bus to good because I drove by it in a short look at the part of it, and there is a sign about the graveyard made out of metal or something, in the entrance. What it describes or talks about, I gotta just go there. I can't go there on my bus. I just gotta when I get out.
He was driving his bus. He had the camera facing where he was driving. He showed me, and on a video. And I'm looking out where it's snowing out. I could have swore I saw a black figure out there standing up in the distance. I mean, this didn't look like a human being. This thing was huge.
Could be. I don't know. This is out in the woods, man. I mean, it's a country. New England's so old, but you never know. That's weird things. I gotta have to look back on that. And I hear Bigfoots do go to graveyards. I don't know if it's true or not because. Right. Well, I should say that in Virginia, I was in a graveyard not too far from where I was Bigfooting, so that's true. They would come from the graveyard to look at the property from when I was looking off the porch. The graveyard was to my left, and they were coming from my left. Oh. From the graveyard. So, yeah, you could have seen a Bigfoot there, Stephen.
I know I saw something in the distance, and it looked like it was bigger than a man, but it was all black.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all black. A lot of them are all black. Where I'm going to be camping, though, when I was with Jeannie, there was a gray and orange one, pretending to be a bear.
Wow, looked like albino.
Oh, wow.
He was gray and red, but he was down on all fours.
Sound like it could have been a what do you call an elder or something like that? Older one.
Well, what he did, could have been. Jeannie goes, come back here, look at this bear. I go, oh, right, that is a bear. Then the thing stands straight up, like 8 feet, 9 feet, stands straight up looking at us. And I would never see it. She saw it because she has the eyes for this. And just looks at us and then takes a right turn like a soldier,
and walks away,
making a right foot, and just started walking in that direction. And I'm trying to get my phone on and all this shit. It was daylight, 10 in the morning, and we're going like, thank you, appreciate it, thank you. We're coming down the mountain. We're trying to go in his direction to see if we can see him, and I get a glimpse of him, but good shit, just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, when I mentioned to you about the EMF thing, you could download the EMF detector on your phone.
Okay, EMF detector. Okay, and what is the difference from what that I have on my phone for recording and that EMF detector?
Well, EMF it detects the electromagnetic field, which is EMF. And what you're doing with your phone with your recorder is you're recording like an EVP, which would be basically be a sound or voices or grunts or howls and stuff like that.
Okay. So the EMF detector...
The EMP or whatever it is he's talking about, when something comes near you, the thing will go from, white all the way up to red, and when it goes all the way up to red, it tells you something's near you.
Okay.
Yeah, the EMF detector.
All right,
but
I'm going to get that.
There's a theory that an EMF detector can also detect a portal by the EMF field that it puts off.
Theory.
Which is an electromagnetic field. This is where I shut my brain, I guess.
Where you shot your what?
Shot his load.
Oh, no comment.
But there's a theory, though, that whenever a Bigfoot puts out a portal, and goes through the portal, that it puts out a bit of electromagnetic energy. And that EMF detector would actually pick that up.
So I can get that on my phone?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it.
Just type it in.
I'll definitely do it.
All right, check it out.
And you got it where? On Google Play?
You can get it on Google Play. All you got to do is type in free EMF detector.
Yep.
Hey.
No, I'll definitely have that.
Hey, Bruce.
Yo.
When you do shoot your load, let me know. I don't want to walk around in the dark stepping in it.
You're funny. You're funny, not just funny looking.
Whatever. Whatever.
No, I appreciate you telling me that, Bruce. Because I'm going to get it. Because the thing is, when I brought that medium with me, Anthony, and I know you go on quite a bit, that she was telling me that the Bigfoots would use their ability to, this is her, the ability to transform into the trees. That she was figuring it out, that they could go from hide in the tree. That that's how magical they are. That their bodies, there was some type of connection. Like, I find, like I told you guys, these saplings are bent over like arcs, and you would have a piece of wood or a rock holding them down so they couldn't fly up. And they're throughout, and I'll take some videos to show you this when I'm up there in the mountain. And the deliberately put there, they're not by nature. And she would say those things are portal, but she said, Chris, they're using the trees to camouflage, that they can go into the tree and blend right in there with them. And that's how they get away of not being seen. And this is just me, and she had the gift now. I mean,
actually, if you look at my Facebook page, which I'm sure you have, and you look at the pictures and scroll down, you'll find them. Looks like this green clearing, and this was years back, I was chasing a couple Bigfoots through a tree line. I tripped on my shoestring, camera went flying, It took the picture of a Bigfoot and then half the head and shoulder of a Bigfoot. It's on my Facebook page. You can see why I circled it at.
But he got a good laugh watching you fall on your face.
It didn't fall on my face, just fell on my hand and my knees. That was it. But I thought to myself, damn, I thought those damn things were tied.
Now, I had another crazy thought. Okay, you know how they talk about Sasquatch and the Native American tribes have always worked together up until a certain point, correct?
Yeah.
What if somebody was to camp in a teepee? Would that not bring back memories to them? Would they not know the teepee and maybe be more inclined to come closer?
I never thought about that.
What were you going to say, Anthony?
I mean, I was just saying that was a possibility. You know, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of, you know, stick figures out there besides the arch trees and the hook trees and stuff like that. You know, there's quite a bit of, you know, teepee formations. When I first got involved, I had found a teepee formation. I mean, this thing was massive. It was massive. And, I mean, you know, I found smaller ones, but this one was, like, so large that, I mean, like, you know, it had a big circumference, you know, at the bottom. But and if you were to walk in the middle, I mean, there was no way, even if I had someone standing on my shoulders, they wouldn't be able to reach the middle of the top in the middle. You know what I mean? Where all the intersect, you know. So, but that was the largest thing I've ever seen, you know. But I've never seen. You know, I've seen other teepee-like formations, but that I've never seen any. I've only seen that one at that one location. I've seen it more than once at that one location, but I've never seen one bigger than that anywhere else. You know, and that teepee. Now, the interesting thing is that teepee formation was made from the trees that they had cleared around that area. So, because of the new construction that they had done, you know, they had just literally, like, you know, taken the trees that they had cut down, they just had piled them up. But some of those trees that were cut down, they were made into a teepee formation, you know, and they were tall trees. Let me tell you, they were big. So, and
you know, it's weird.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, in Connecticut, I found, you know, like shapes and stuff that weren't made by nature from Bigfoot that you're looking at, but it was never a teepee. There'd been this sapling this way, another sapling over the other sapling that was bent down, and then another one almost making like an igloo here. Here we'd have the igloo shape, like teepees for them. But when I was in Colorado, I found there at 10,000 feet and above, 2 huge teepees I put on my website so people could follow. And I'm going, holy shit! It was hollow inside. It was a beautiful teepee, and there were a bunch of like birch trees. They were white, but there was a bunch of like teepee material around the teepee that was already finished. Like they were just lying there, you know, like 6 or 7 huge 15-foot, 20-foot, you know, limbs that were cleaned. They had no branches on them. They were all shaped, ready to be put up, but it was like they were satisfied the way it looked, and it was finished and complete. But they left the remnants of the material all around the teepee. And I saw 2 of them. They were monsters, like you were describing, Anthony. Nothing small. They were big. You know?
That's one reason why I suggested that about the teepee idea for camping. If you're going to do an investigation, maybe somehow find somewhere one day to get a teepee and put it up, because there are pictures of the thick structures that they put up that look like a teepee. That kind of tells me that they still try to follow that same thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the igloo one that I was describing with, I forgot to tell you, I found 2 of them up here, the same, and there would be a baby one not far in the distance, maybe 20 feet away, of a smaller version of it. And I was wondering, like, is their little one trying to imitate what the parents are doing? Because there'll be a smaller one, and it'll be like, the saplings bent over a rock or a piece of wood holding it down, another one bent over the sapling that was already placed down with a rock, and building on it, and it was like they would put like the tree branches that had the leaves on it and cover it, so it would be like a tent. That's what it is. It was like an igloo tent, like what I'm going to be sleeping in. But in Colorado and what you found, Anthony, and down south, it was a real Indian tent. I don't know if the Native Americans use those type of teepees here in New England or not. That's something I should investigate. But these were igloo shaped, and using the structure of the saplings as a skeleton, the framework, and then they would hang the leaves and the tree branches with leaves on it across it and cover it so they wouldn't get cold or rain. They had to, but they had a little one. That was the crazy thing. Like they had a little one for like a toddler or something nearby it. You know what I'm saying? You hear are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the weird thing about it. There was a tiny version of it. Why would be there a tiny version? Because they have a little one that was learning and maybe watching the parents do it and did it himself.
Yep.
Maybe the smaller version was the store food.
Yeah, really.
Jesus, I didn't think of that. Store food.
Yeah, their own shopping center.
Hey, they eat better than we do sometimes.
Yeah, they eat all that venison and everything else. Something I wouldn't be caught dead eating.
It's not processed food. They definitely got a healthier diet.
Yeah. Well, you know what time it is?
No.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Gentle Giant, and this is the Bigfoot Radio for this week. And we would like you all to tune in next week for some more Bigfoot Radio. And all of us on the Bigfoot Radio Network, we would also like to thank our guests for joining in on the discussion tonight on this talk show. And we would also like to thank you, our listeners, for sharing our adventures with us. Join us again next Friday evening for another exciting hour of Bigfoot Radio with the Bigfoot research teams from across the country. And we would also especially like to thank our listeners. Until then, this is the Gentle Giant saying good night, be good, be safe, and we will see you here again next week. Until then, keep Bigfoot live and keep Bigfooting. See you all again next week. Bye-bye, and have a nice night.
Just like a man, while keeping out what he is may be known. But there's one thing